Every welding shop owner or project manager knows the importance of the WPS welding procedure specification, especially if you're dealing with major companies or international projects as a mandatory gatekeeper. You might be scrambling to prepare these documents whether you want to or not. Whether it's for quality control or preventing welding defects, every project begins with a single piece of paper. ASME, AWS, KS, ISO, you're likely struggling with the specific code required for your current project. Because the client demanded, submit your WPS according to this standard and specifications. But here's the problem. Writing a document that meets the code and writing a document that gets instant client approval are two completely different things. It might look detailed or acceptable on the surface, but the moment it lands at the desk of a client reviewer, the story changes. The frustration of being rejected, the wasted time, the cost of delays, that gap is what dictates the success or failure of your project. Today, through my extensive experience in WPS and PQR services, I will categorize the key reasons for rejection into 3 levels: high, medium, and low. Understanding this criteria will completely change the turnaround time of your approvals. Let's dive in. The first one is high, the fast track grade, documents that stops the reviewer's pen. In my book, a high grade document is one that speaks the language of the project. It's not just about swapping numbers in a code book. It involves optimizing variables like base metal thickness or heat input ranges based on PQR data. And most importantly, the kick of the WPS preparation, analyzing the client's demanding specifications. Because I reflect those specific requirements in advance, the reviewer sees it and thinks, there's nothing more to question, and signs up immediately. If you want to buy time with money, this is the level of documentation you need. I once worked with a company manufacturing semiconductor equipment. They provided a massive set of client specs, including specific unit requirements for welding variables, specific rod usage per situation, and strict limitation on current, voltage, and heat input. For someone who hasn't done this, it's challenging. But for me, this is what I do every day. I delivered a document that met every single requirement. The client was stunned, saying no one has ever submitted a documentation that hit every spec this precisely. I'm signing off on this immediately. They even sent a follow-up email full of surprise, which was incredibly rewarding. The second is the conditional approval grade. Documents in the medium grade meet the codes, but they fail the gap between theory and reality. Everything looks fine on paper, but it slightly clashes with the specific welding rod requirements or on-site processes. For example, if a client mandates using E6010 for the root pass and E7018 for fill pass, ignoring that and just copy and pasting from an old file will get you comment on flat-out rejection. Client reviewers never miss these details. The moment they comment, perform a mock-up test, or submit proof of a PQR, your production schedule is pushed back by days. This stage is won or lost based on persuasiveness of the writer's technical logic. Mock-up tests take more time than standard WPS PQR preparations, as you have to account for material selection and site environments. If you don't have your previous PQR data organized for submitter, you will end up with nothing to show, leading to a loss of credibility and production delays. The last one is low, the rejection grade, the time dip that hurts project. Unfortunately, this is what I see most often on site. It looks fine on the surface because someone just took an old project document and swapped the code. But reviewers are experts. They have seen it all the time. If they see current and voltage ranges set without technical PQR background, they immediately spot that it's not feasible on the shop floor. In some cases, people even copy and paste documents, or worse, use another company's PQR test results, just changing the name. If you get away with it, you're lucky. But if you're caught, operations stop. Anything produced with that WPS is rejected. You lose all credibility. From then on, the client will review carefully every single details on your submitters, marking your company as a high-risk vendor. Eventually, you're stuck with rejections, revisions, and delayed workshop. For any manufacturer, there's nothing greater loss. Submitting a fake WPS is like driving through a complex city without a GPS. You're guaranteed to get lost or have an accident. It breaks my heart to see this document because it's not just a rejection, it's the waste of your reputation and your precious time. Take a look at the WPS file on your company server right now. Is there a lack of professional technical logic? Many people think it will get approved if I just throw something together. That's a shortcut to failure. When I handle WPS services, I don't just make documents. I design the entire approval process. I review your drawings and client specs, asking, is this actually approvable for this project? If you're currently struggling with rejections or nervous about an upcoming international project, don't struggle alone. Click the link in the pinned comment to reach out. I will upgrade your WPS and PQR to fast-track status. I support all the technicians out there working hard to create the best quality in the field.